Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Standby Phase podcast, the show where we talk about all things Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm your host, Aaron, and with me as always is my co-host, Jarrod Evans.
That's right. We're here. We got a lot of new, I don't want to say subscribers, but we're getting a lot more traction around social media, Facebook. So why don't we tell the audience what we do here a little bit more in depth for all the new people.
So we are amateur duelists who like to
Speak
talk...
for yourself.
You're an amateur.
I'm Plat 1 rank, bro.
Master Duel don't count in the TCG, bro. We are amateur duelists who like to talk a lot of crap about Yu-Gi-Oh! And things that we just like to complain a lot, essentially, is what the podcast has become. And we're going to do a big rant episode today as well. But we like to do long-form discussions, duels. We're trying to get new content. We've got a lot of stuff coming out, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're not the typical Yu-Gi-Tuber where we're making little short 10-minute videos 3 times a week of the same content that everybody else does too. So we're not like deck profiles, for example. I mean, if we get a lot of people that want to see what we run, I'd be happy to post those videos, but I'm not going to...
It's not going to be a thing that we just randomly do.
Exactly. We're not going to go out of our way to do those unless, again, it's asked for. You know, we do like to talk about the Banlist a lot when it's Banlist season, but other than that, we don't typically follow the trends of your standard Yu-Gi tuber or stuff like that. So we like the podcast form, and I mean, yeah, just let us know what you guys like and want to hear us talk about, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. That being said, today we're going to do a little bit of a discussion on Battle of Chaos prices. This set is not doing too well in value. And then Jarrod's got a little presentations for us after we're done for that. So why don't you kick us off, man?
So, man, I'm just shocked at the Battle of Chaos. So we're in the Fallout zone of Battle of Chaos. We've got to pull all these our TCG prices that we're going to check out here. And I can't believe how cheap this stuff is selling. Like, this is a dream come true almost.
Yeah, everything's super cheap. The most expensive secret rare is about $35-$40, which is really good.
So you can still buy a box of Battle of Chaos factory sealed from TCG Player for as low as $57.
Which is unheard of.
I mean, yeah, I can't get that at my locals. I mean, granted, they have to charge a profit and everything, but
but usually even online, you're spending minimum $70 on a box,
unless you pre-order it. Yeah,
unless you pre-order. But the moment it's out, it's usually $70 minimum.
Minimum, yeah, minimum. Depends on how good the set is, I suppose. But
yeah, which surprises me because this one has a lot of Blue Eyes and Magician support, which always sells. So
yeah,
we got a new TCG exclusive archetype as well, and so I'm kind of surprised that we didn't like this one wasn't as valuable as the other ones.
Yeah. So Dynamorphia, the deck is not very good right now. They do have a new boss monster coming, which is actually a huge improvement for the deck, and maybe that's why it's not really selling that much. Other than that, I mean, I guess there's no real game-breaking card that people are chasing other than just nostalgia of Dark Magician and Blue Eye stuff, which is actually really good support for the deck. I wanted to talk about the DD deck now too. They've got multiple new cards coming out of this set, and I think it's very underrated. I think that one, if you're an old school player that picked up the structure decks of the DDDs a long time ago, this would be a perfect opportunity for you to pick up the new cards and can right away go into locals with that deck and do very well. I'm seeing a ton of buzz online about that stuff, or about DDD. So if you guys like that deck, dude, it's freaking cheap. DD Griffin, that's a 3 of in the new deck. It's under $1.16 here. Like, holy crap. The Fluundereeze new spell card, that one I wanted to touch on too. Like, it's a $10 card as low as, but this really improves Fluundereeze, and that is, pretty much the budget deck of the format right now. I think this is like the most expensive card now.
Yeah.
So if somebody again wanted to pick up a good deck and they didn't know what, this is it right there. Illusion of Chaos, there's your most expensive card in the entire set, and it's a $40 card.
Yeah.
So I cannot buy mow ye for $40 of the Sword Soul archetype, dude. Like, it's stupid pricing, and this is just amazing. The new boss monster for DDDs is under $3, and he's not a 3 of. I think all the builds I've been looking at are just running 2 of him.
Mm.
So Timaeus, Dark Magicians will be running that card, $7. Like, you can't beat these prices. So, and even more good news is, like, this is a main booster set, so it's going to be reprinted in the Megatins.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that's a long ways away, but like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, Konami finally did something right.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if we can consider this Konami doing something right, because they don't have effect on these values. At least, I think part of this is just people aren't buying it as much as they were the other sets.
Yeah, so this was a more heavily bought set. So, in other words, vendors bought this set more than they bought previous sets, and they're opening more sealed products, so there's a lot more cards in circulation. So, yes, but what, to give credit where credit is due, is Konami made this a set to where the vendors wanted to buy it in bulk, and they wanted to open it to sell the singles and stuff like that. So, Konami, in my opinion, hit the nail on the head with that. And that's how it should be. And the prime comparison would be like Synchro Storm, where nobody's buying the sealed product at all. It's on shelves. Our local still has a box of Synchro Storm that they can't get rid of. They can't get people to buy it. You know?
Anytime someone gets packs, it's at this point it's Grand Creators or Battle of Chaos. But
yeah, and I mean, that whole set sucked except for Lyraless reprints and
the Baron. The floor.
Yeah, and that's $100 card right now. So
is it really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably like 90, but
Jesus,
it's up there, I'm sure. How do you spell it?
BARO.
There it is. I got it. Let's find out in real time.
125.
Oh my god, it's more than what I remembered. As low as $82.99 though.
Scroll down. Let's see what people are buying it for. Okay, anywhere from 85 to 95. Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, I mean, heck, when we were at locals the other night, I saw one guy buy 3 booster boxes right there in front of us. And that was the opening night of the set, So I give credit where credit's due. I like to crap on Konami a lot because they do a lot of really horrible and scummy things. So, and this one, I don't think they did. I think they actually did something right.
We don't mean it, Konami. We would love a sponsorship. Don't listen to him.
Oh, that's already long gone, bro. All right, so are we ready to get controversial?
Oh, we're already gonna go into it, huh?
I mean, that's all I wanted to talk about with Battle of Chaos. Anything else you want to add?
Nope. So as you can see here, Jarrod has put together a little presentation / argument / rant about why Colossus deserves to be unbanned.
Not exactly. Kinda.
You're providing the logic to show that it doesn't need to be banned.
So I want to draw attention to the ban list specifically. I'm going to use Colossus as the example because Konami, they do this all the time. They are incredibly reactive, not proactive.
Mm-hmm.
So when something is on the ban list, oftentimes it will literally stay on the ban list until it is completely irrelevant. And then they'll finally give it back to the players and nobody cares. You know what I mean? So Colossus is a very fan favorite card.
By who?
A lot of
you
people. And me, yes, me included. So, one, it has the nostalgia of being a Thunder Dragon, which is a fan favorite archetype because it's in the shows. It really hurt me because when the Megatins finally came out, which was the very first reprint that these cards had to make it affordable to where I could get it, it was literally hit on the next ban list, so I only got to play it. At the time, we were just starting to go to locals, and I literally went to locals 2 times.
Yeah.
Twice that I got to use it, and then it got banned. Now, looking back, I know it deserved to be banned, which is fine. That's not my argument. My argument is Konami is out of touch when it comes to the ban list. They don't listen to players. I don't think they really watch how the game is played, other than maybe in their regional tournaments when they say, oh, okay, this tournament got dominated by whatever, so we just need to go ahead and hit that on the ban list. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
fingers crossed you're gonna do that at Sword Soul.
No, because I want to play that too. Damn it. So, but yeah, they're probably gonna hit it too. So as soon as I'm able to afford the prints, it doesn't matter anymore now.
Well,
the deck is gone.
They kind of already did hit it a little bit with Protos.
Well, yes, that's an indirect hit, which I'm fine with.
Yeah,
that's totally different. I'm totally fine with that. So since you brought up Protos, the only reason why that became a bannable card was because a deck like Sword Soul is able to search it consistently. At the time when Thunder Dragon Colossus needed to be banned, there was 3 of it on the format running around, and I mean the Thunder Dragon players, it was a totally different deck than it is now, but they were able to get 2 to 3 of them on field, so it wasn't just one that you were dealing with, and it was a huge problem. If it was to come back at 1, it's not going to make Thunder Dragon top tier. Thunder Dragon is not going to be able to beat Sword Soul. We've already seen people experimenting with that online. If you haven't looked that up, there's Sword Soul basically just rapes Thunder Dragon. No problem. So we have a card like this, Arch Nemesis Escados, which is the counterpart to Protos. Mm-hmm. Every bit as ban worthy as Protos, but it's still in the format, and Protos is not, and that's only because it's not being used in a deck specifically. The problem with that is I can search this from my deck to my hand with Dragon Link. I could build a Thunder Dragon Link deck and add this to my hand the same way, which would actually be better because you have to banish different types to summon this guy from your graveyard. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason why Dragon Link does not play this right now.
Okay.
But if they find a way to play this, then they are going to be the new best, because they're going to have a turn-long floodgate that just destroys cards of a specific type. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wanted to give a comparison here. So for those that don't know, I'm just going to go over both effects real quick. Yeah. So for Thunder Dragon Colossus, it has to be fusion summoned, or you can special summon it by tributing a Thunder monster from the field, only if you used a Thunder's effect from your hand, and you don't have to use polymerization. So cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. Here's the thing. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish 1 Thunder monster from your graveyard instead. That is a problem with today's Thunder Dragon decks now. They aren't having... If they summon Titan, they have no other Thunder Dragons in their graveyard.
So, okay, so just to clarify, because I haven't really gone up against Colossus too much. Mm-hmm. It says except by drawing them. Does that mean I can do like a Pot of Extravagance, Spanish, and then draw?
Yes.
I just can't do like Reinforcement of the Army.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect example.
Okay.
So I can get more in depth on the Thunder Dragon side of it, but the Thunder Dragon deck now is not the same as it was before. No. Just think of it that way. So now here's Escados. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 monsters with different types from your graveyard and or face up your field. Cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is cool. You can declare 1 monster card type on the field. Destroy all monsters on the field with that type. Also until the end of the next turn, neither player can special summon monsters with that type. So in other words, it's the exact same as Protos. The only thing is Protos dealt with attributes. This guy deals with types.
Okay. That being said, what deck can run this?
Any deck that can add it to its hand. You can add this guy to your hand with Melody of Awakening Dragon right now. Blue Eyes can play this card if they wanted to.
Blue Eyes isn't going and destroying the meta, though.
It's not.
That's why Protos was hit, is because a deck like Sword Soul was able to use it and abuse it.
Correct. Which is also my point. That's the only reason why this has not been hit, but Colossus has.
And that's why I would say that Escados wouldn't be as ban-worthy, just because it's not really usable.
So let me ask you a question. Who's the better monster right here? Which one will be harder to get rid of, in other words?
Which one would be harder to get rid of?
Yeah.
Well, because Colossus can also be saved by Titan, right?
No. Only if you have a Thunder monster in your graveyard. That is the only protection that Colossus has. So, as a Thunder Dragon player, I can confidently say that I am not going to have very many Thunder monsters in my graveyard, specifically if I summon Titan. The better thing for me would be to summon Colossus and leave out Titan until the following turn.
Uh-huh.
If I do summon Titan, I have virtually no protection. I will literally have one Thunder monster in my graveyard to protect it.
See, but I also don't see Escados as that much of a big of a deal because you can still negate its effect and destroy it with card effects. Which
you do that with Colossus too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't see either one of them as harder than the other.
You are getting my point, my friend. That is exactly the point that I'm making, is if a deck can figure out how to run this more efficiently, Escados, that would be pretty devastating in the format, is what I'm trying to say.
But the thing is that we've had the time to see if Escados can be used in anything. People would have already done it. Colossus can be used in Thunder Dragon if it comes off the list, and it could be a pain in the ass. Whereas Escados really isn't because no one can use it.
Until it can be used is my point.
Well, then at the moment it can be used, then it's probably one that'll get banned. Just like Protoss was.
Okay, so there's only one clear way for Dragon Link to add it to its hand, and that's by the Heavenly Spheres.
Mm-hmm. But Dragon Link, you're playing mostly dragons, so how are you going to banish 3 different types of monsters?
It would have to be extra deck monsters. So you're correct, which is why Dragon Link doesn't do this.
It's too situational.
Exactly. The reason why Sword Soul could do it is because they had an in-archetype way to generically add a worm monster from their deck to their hand, which is they could consistently add Protoss.
Okay.
That is why it became a
Protoss
thing.
dealt with attributes, whereas this dealt with types.
Yes.
Okay.
But if you're running Cyber Dragon or whatever, you've got nothing but machines, and I summon this guy, you lose basically, unless you have a specific
Infinity's on the field. I'd negate it.
Yes, that's not my point, but
okay.
My point is this guy is every bit as devastating as Protoss is. The only thing is just there's not a way to consistently get it to your hand.
Okay.
Unless you can run 3 of Melody of Awakening Dragon that way and get it, but that's the only thing. When a deck comes out that can blanket add a dragon from their deck to their hand, like an in-archetype way, this will have to be banned.
Okay. Okay, I understand what you're trying to say, but my point still stands that this isn't banned because it's not useful. This is banned because it can be used.
In Thunder Dragons only.
Yes. You bring back Colossus into for Thunder Dragons to use, they're going to become a more powerful deck. They're going to be able to stand up to other decks.
To what? Tier 2?
Better than...
Will it be a Tier 2 deck if
better
it comes
than Under
back?
Rogue.
Yeah, because it's Under Rogue now. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It would be probably close to Tier 2.
You can bring Thunder Dragon back, and it's not going to slingshot Thunder Dragon into the meta tables at the next regionals. You know what I mean? There's way more outs to it now. Everything that can out Escados can out Colossus too. Like, it's not... Colossus has been power crept out, and he's still on the ban list.
We might need to do a YGO Pro or EDO video with you playing with Thunder Dragon Colossus against the meta decks and seeing what if it can stand up to, say, a Sword Soul or a Tri Brigade or whatever. And
well, that's already done. That's my point. Also, is it's already not standing up to Sword Soul. They can out it like nothing. And that's just Sword Soul specifically. Tri Brigade, too, they don't care. They don't need to add cards from their deck to the hand. They send it from the deck to the graveyard. You know? Drytron hurts me a lot, Thunder Dragon Colossus, but I have in-archetype ways to out him, too. So Colossus is not that big of a deal. And we actually spent way too much time on Escados, by the way.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go down to the next one. Eldritch, okay.
Yeah, so for comparison, Eldritch has a blanket, cannot be destroyed by card effects. He recurs himself every single turn, as long as you can send a a spell or trap card from the field to the graveyard, and he can non-target send a card from the field to the graveyard. So obviously, like Thunder Dragon Colossus against an Eldritch deck, does not care about Colossus at all. They can get rid of him with a single turn, and Colossus doesn't affect the deck. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, I just wanted to. I mean, and they're running 3 skill drain now. Eldritch can completely play around skill drain. So my point is that Colossus is already power crapped out of the game, and he's still on the ban list because I don't know.
So is this list of cards just showing like, look, we've already got these cards in the game that like Colossus doesn't matter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Winda is the most comparable card to Colossus for everything that I'm going to show you now.
Okay, so must first be special summon, fusion summon, cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effects. Each player can only special summon monsters once per turn while this card is face up on the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Shaddoll spell/trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Okay.
Correct. So it has recursion that it can float a trap back to your hand, and the player could actually summon a second Winda if they have it in the extra deck. Any deck that can play Nadir Servant can play Winda. It's incredibly easy. Actually, any deck. Technically, I could play Winda and Drytron if I wanted to. Any deck that can send an extra deck monster to the graveyard can play Winda, because all you need is a Shaddoll monster, which is the extra deck monster that would be sent to the graveyard, and then all you have to have is another dark monster in your graveyard, which is incredibly easy. Everybody has a dark monster, I'm willing to bet.
Most decks nowadays can get a dark monster.
Yeah, and then this one's a floodgate too. You can only special summon once the turn. I guess the only drawback is that this also hurts the owner of Winda too, but that doesn't matter because their board is already established. And they can always just fusion it off the next turn to summon whatever they need to. You know what I mean? Especially if it's to like invoke Shaddoll or something like that.
Yeah.
They don't care about that. They'll get rid of it and then summon it right back.
Yeah. So what's the next card? Sorry, I don't mean to like rush this, but we have a Super Bowl party we are trying to do right after this. So Utopic Draco Future, okay?
Yeah, so any deck that can summon 2 Xyz monsters of the same rank can play this guy. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and he is an Omni Negate. So, he's worse than an Omni Negate because he takes control of the monster that he negates also. So he's even harder to get rid of in my personal opinion. He's a little bit harder to summon, but like I said, any Xyz deck that can summon 2 monsters of the same rank can get this guy out.
Is it 2 months? 3.
3, excuse me. Yeah, you're right. I said 2. It's 3.
Dragoon.
We already know what this guy does. Dragoon is way more splashable than Thunder Dragon Colossus is.
Yeah.
Dragoon is a lot harder to get rid of because he can't be targeted, can't be destroyed by card effects. He can pop 2 monsters on the field, deal direct damage to you, and then attack you for 4,000 after that. So the only thing is he doesn't have a floodgate effect, but I mean, who you going to out first, Colossus or Dragoon? Colossus he just doesn't compare. And you can literally put this guy in every single deck. Every single deck. And the final monster I want to talk about is, of course, DPE. Same thing, every deck. Every deck recurs himself every standby phase. That includes your opponent's turn. Pops a card on the field. You know what I mean? It's... To wrap this up, power creep is a real thing, and I'm okay with that because the game evolves. So that's fine. I'm just saying, why are we still putting these cards on the ban list? And I'm not just referring to Colossus. Colossus just happens to be my favorite. But there's plenty of other cards that are on the ban list. Like Nessie, for example, is now finally has come off the ban list. And who cares? So what? Who cares? You know?
Forget about it.
Yeah, Nessie's not the problem it was. You know what I mean? Like, let's make the game fun and diverse. I spent a lot of money to get this guy. Let me play him, Konami, please.
So what this episode about is Jarrod's being cheap and just wants to utilize the money he spent.
I have been burned by Konami 2 times in a row like this. At Emancipator. and Thunder Dragons. And they're trying to massacre my boy with Drytron now.
So, my final thoughts on this would be, one, I mean, I agree with you. I was just trying to argue earlier to play devil's advocate just to see, what your thoughts were. But like, the point is that this card is not meta crushing. DPE is a problem. Dragoon, not anymore. Kind of was, but this is a problem. This isn't. And, we proved it the other night. I Forbidden Chalice your Colossus.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yes,
we went through the game. Like you still wound up winning, but that's just because you pulled it out at the end. Like it was still a fairly even match for most of that game.
Yeah. No, I had Colossus out that first turn, and you just Forbidden Chalice and got rid of him, and he never came back because I have no way to recycle him unless I save Titan for the following turn, which this particular duel I didn't. I had both on the field. So
I think what I wound up doing is I Forbidden Chalice to negate the effect, was able to go through my combos with Cyber Dragon because I could add from the deck, and then I use Infinity to take it over.
Right.
So if something like Cyber Dragon can get over this, this isn't a problem. This isn't a worry.
No. Not just Cyber Dragon.
We had a conversation with one or two guys that are locals the other night about it, and we know you're watching. We just don't think Colossus is a problem.
No, maybe we'll have. I mean, we've already had the discussion of Maxi, why it needs to never come back. But I mean, look at Master Duel. Master Duel has all these boss monsters unbanned, and I mean, you don't see in Plat 1. I do not run into Thunder Dragons at all. I do, however, run into stupid True King of all Calamities, though, and he's annoying, incredibly. But
I ran into, because I'm mid gold right now, and I ran into it was a gold 1 Blue Eyes deck. I didn't think there was going to be any Blue Eyes in the topper ranks, or in the upper ranks. I mean,
yeah, you see him a little bit, and I need you to step up your game and get into Plat with me.
So my problem with that is, one, I don't play near as much as you do. And two, like I started off with Cyber Dragon and I've spent so much time in Cyber Dragon, but I don't know if that's going to get me through the rest of gold and through platinum. I'm going to have to deconstruct it and go and get something else. But it takes a lot of time and effort to, get the cards I need.
People are going to think we're noobs.
People already think we're noobs.
Speak for yourself. I'm a Plat 1.
Master Duel don't mean shit to the TCG, man.
Alrighty, that's all we wanted to talk about.
That was really loud. You're peeking.
My bad. Let us know what you guys think. Am I way off base? Does Thunder Dragon Colossus need to stay perma-banned, or can he come back to 1? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
just 1.
Please comment below. We'd love to have discussions with you guys about this because we want to know if we're the only crazy ones out there.
Yeah, let us know if you guys like the content too, because I've got a lot of other stuff like this planned that other YouTubers don't talk about, stuff like that. So, as always, we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Peace out.